Look what the little terrors did today. Hey, they did, didn't they? We had some sprouts overnight of the sunflower seeds. So I got my sprout now, so we'll have probably some more tonight. It's the first sprout. They come and pluck the tops off, little terrors. But I got some pumpkin sprouting. They're the seeds out of the babies. They're the baby planted ones, aren't they? And when I do the water, I chuck their seeds in there. I've done it a few times. And this is the longest one I've gotten to live because they die out real quick if you let them dry out. But anyway, besides that, I want to talk about sex work. I've heard something on TV about it, so I'm going to say something. I know I can say my opinion on a lot of things, but I thought I'll just pick something every now and then. And this one is sex work and how people can get depression problems and stuff doing sex work, right? And usually because they're doing it for money instead of doing it because they like to. See, we all look for jobs that we like to do in the end. It's the ultimate goal. Otherwise, you do it because you need money and you've done a certain decision in your life and now you need money. You've got a house payment, you've got credit cards and all that kind of stuff. And so you'll do any job, right? And you're not religious in any way and stuff like that. So these people will do any work to get money. And sometimes they think, oh, well, I'll be a certain sex worker and get money that way. As you know, we all know how to do that. It's not a hard job to do, and I might be good looking or so on. Rah, 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 rah. And I might get in and then get out of it. But when it comes to sex work and reputation and all that kind of stuff, is that you got to be careful when you get into something and then want to get out of it, as you might have the reputation still of a certain person as a sex worker. It's easy to get, as they call sex workers. They're some people say all sorts of nasty things when it comes to sex work, but you don't know who they are and why they're doing it. When it comes to sex work, I believe that it can be done for people and people can do it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's freedom of choice. And some people might find it easy and all that kind of thing. But allowing people to do the job when it comes to sex work, they need good people to choose who should be allowed to do that work, right? So maybe before you even do sex work, they need some sort of counselling check over or a police check over, see how they are themselves and why they're going for that job, as we don't want to cause any problems in people's lives. Because when it comes to sex work, you have all sorts of things you're not prepared for when it comes to people's sex fantasies and all that kind of thing, and how they look or how they might act and stuff like that. And that all usually just happens when it... Oh, here comes some beavers now. They're coming around. When it comes to the illegal sex work. And that's what we're all still trying to fight. And one day we'll be able to eradicate that easier when we have better steps to legalise actual sex work. Because if there's loopholes within it and they're allowed to do this so much or they keep this so much secret, it allows other ones to sneak into the industry that you won't notice, as you don't know if they're legit or not. A little bit like a handyman that is legit or not, right? And if you want a legit one and you're paying good money, you will want to get one, then not pay good money and get a dodgy handyman, as people have suffered. So sex work, I believe sex work should happen. You shouldn't block anything, because some people actually need certain people to inspire them. I know some friends way back that were very shy, and sometimes sex workers help bring that shyness out of them, right? But if it's done all legitly, which some places are, and everything's checked over when it comes to health and other people's health and stuff like that, I find no problem in it. I find it should be maybe a little bit more expensive than what it is, because that'll show the people that sex is not a easy, cheap thing, right? And you should respect your woman and the person you are dating, as sex won't be cheap to just go have. You can't just go, oh, I can just go get a whore and get it for $50. Those people, and if you say that, they're getting abused by the system, or a bad guy or a pimp. And you don't want to say that to anybody, as you'll be as bad as them as abusing them about how they feel and what they're worth. So when it comes to sex, I believe it should be a little bit more expensive in certain cases. It all depends on the circumstances, right? Maybe because when you put up the price, it'll also stop a lot of the problems that we get when it comes to sex work, and people won't have to afford them so much. They might think, hey, maybe I should do the right thing instead of treating human beings like meat. Anyway, have a good one, and bye bye everybody. And the birdies say bye too.